Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who has been granted bail by the Supreme Court today in the Delhi Excise policy case. The AAP Supremo will finally walk out of jail almost 6 months after he was arrested. The Apex Court found that CM Kejriwal's prolonged incarceration amounts to unjust deprivation of liberty. Justice Ujjal Bhuyan and Justice Suryakant delivered separate verdicts on CM Kejriwal's 2 pleas, but agreed on the core issue that he must be granted bail. Justice Bhuyan also underlined that bail is the rule and jail is the exception. The Delhi Chief Minister was arrested by the ED on the 21st of March in connection with a money laundering probe related to the irregularities in the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. On the 26th of June, he was arrested by the CBI while he was still in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate in the matter. Remember, the Delhi Chief Minister was earlier granted bail in the case pertaining to the Enforcement Directorate, but soon after he was granted bail in that matter, he was arrested and taken into custody by the CBI. Today, the verdict of the Supreme Court is on the CBI's case, and Delhi Chief Minister, as we know, will now walk free. My colleague Shubh Rana with us, joining us live from the Aam Aadmi Party office. Shubh, what really is the atmosphere there at the Aam Aadmi Party office? Yes, the announcement for the grant of bail has been made, but there are some legal processes and procedures, of course, that ought to be followed. Arvind Kejriwal will not be walking out of Tihar anytime soon. But what really is the atmosphere as far as the Aam Aadmi Party office is concerned, Shubh?
Yes, definitely, Devika. You can see the posters of Satyamev Jayate have been set up at Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. I would like to show you the fresh visuals which have been here because Aam Aadmi Party MLAs are lightening the firecrackers for the celebration of the release of the CM Arvind Kejriwal. And you can see firecrackers are being lightened up here, and Aam Aadmi Party have been very positive for the same, and they, the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs are here, Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas are here, and they are feeling happy for the same. They have been saying that after a big release that there is a festival of Diwali, but also I'd like to show you the visuals here. Since to maintain law and order, the police forces have been also deployed here. Also, Satyamev Jayate have been written over here to applaud the judgments by the Supreme Court. And as you can see, Devika, anytime soon the fires would be crackled, the fires would be lightened, and they are celebrating Arvind Kejriwal's victory. Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas are here, and soon there would be release of Arvind Kejriwal. First, the matter will be going to the trial court, and then official paperwork will be done under the Tihar jail, and therefore Arvind Kejriwal would be sent out by any time now. But the sources have been saying that it's been 2 to 3 hours more when Arvind Kejriwal would be out. But definitely a big win for Aam Aadmi Party, and you can see whole big slots of crackers are being placed at Aam Aadmi Party's headquarters. And a full Nari-Bari of the Desh Nidali Arvind Kejriwal says Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas are being here, and as you can see, posters of Satyamev Jayate, deployment of police forces. And there would be a press conference also at 12:15 at CM House, where Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh will address and speak about on the release of Arvind Kejriwal. Yes, back to you, Devik.
Okay, Shubh, stay on with us. Raj Lakshmi Joshi also with us on the broadcast. We have Shubh from the Aam Aadmi Party office and Advocate Gyanendra Mishra with us on the broadcast. If I can just get some clarity on who all are with us on the broadcast, that would be great. But I do see Raj Lakshmi Joshi with us. Raj Lakshmi Joshi, Arvind Kejriwal granted bail by the Supreme Court. Some people were saying that this was expected because several of the other names related to the excise policy case have already been granted bail. 40 people who were accused, out of them only 2 were remaining in jail, and one of them was Arvind Kejriwal. So it was expected that he would be granted bail sooner rather than later by the Supreme Court, because the court has pointed out that bail is the rule, jail is the exception. However, at the end of the day, Raj Lakshmi Joshi, the Bharatiya Janata Party trying to present the fine print of what the Supreme Court has truly said and what are the conditions on which Arvind Kejriwal has been granted bail. Ultimately, though, does it matter at the end of the day to the public at large in terms of reading that fine print, and what really is it that the court has said?
Good afternoon, Devika. Yes, actually you have put it across very precisely that, the court, actually the Supreme Court, the honorable judges, it was a two judge bench. So there was a difference of opinion within them also about the legality of the arrest. So that, and also the plea for the legality was actually dismissed, and in a sense actually see Justice Bhuyan and Justice Suryakant, between them also there was a difference of opinion about the legality. Now the fact is that obviously in all these cases where the bail was granted, it was said that the bail is the rule and jail is the exception, and that was the grounds on which the bail was granted. Now you have to note that the conditions of the bail are definitely important, because they have very clearly said that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, he cannot visit the CM office, he cannot be signing any official documents, and obviously he should not be tampering with the evidences. And they have actually also they have not actually spoken about the merits of the case per se. They've only spoken about the way in which he was arrested. And in fact, the CBI has also, even now today also, they have said that they did have enough evidence. So the fact that none of the people who have been granted bail, they were not just let go. It was not, none of them were proved innocent as such. It was just that it was very clear that the trial is not going to be, there's not going to be any conclusion so soon. So that was one of the reasons why you cannot hold a person there indefinitely, and that was one of the reasons why this the bail was granted to all these people who have been granted bail. So it should not be seen as if they have been let go. Now the second point that you were talking about is how it will affect the people. Now what I always feel is that the BJP actually fails at communicating these fine points to the people. Now the perception that is actually created by these parties is that these people have been let go. They have not been let go. It is just a conditional bail. So even earlier it was an interim bail. So it is not as if the case is over and hum jeet gaye. It is not that way. So it is that perception that is created that the CBI and the ED, they have illegally arrested him, and that there was even Mr. Sanjay Singh today has very blatantly, he has said that there was no evidence found, which is completely untrue, because there was huge evidence, and which has been reiterated by the courts also time and again, and that was one of the reasons why they have not been let go. Otherwise Mr. Arvind Kejriwal could have continued as CM just the way he was doing his office earlier. But today he is not allowed to attend his office. Now, this also brings us to the moral responsibility of the CM. Why is he the CM? Now, the reason that the Aam Aadmi Party gives as to why he is not resigned is because he is not holding any portfolio. Now, what is the purpose of a person holding on to the chair of the chief minister when he is not able to sign any documents, when he is not able to attend to the office, he is not able to perform any of his duties? So he is just there as a chief minister, and it is, I think, unfair to the other people of his party also. And it also shows that the other people probably are not suitable enough or capable enough to hold the position of the chief minister. So this is, I think, a very huge moral kind of a question for the Aam Aadmi Party as well, as to why and how only Mr. Arvind Kejriwal gets to decide that he can hold on to the chair, whereas he expects everyone else to resign the minute they have been come under some kind of a question. So this, Devika, actually all these fine points have to be conveyed effectively to the people, because I think that it is very strange that even before the Lok Sabha elections, he was given interim bail. And I think that actually went against him, because the sympathy factor that the Aam Aadmi Party is looking at, it actually goes against them now, because then he is out on bail, but he is not completely out. And also they don't get the sympathy, so he cannot go on saying that the people are trying to kill me and they're trying to affect my health, and all those kind of things that he was doing, all those theatrics, they come to an end, and at the same time he loses sympathy also. So Devika, this is a very tricky situation for the other political parties, and at the same time it's not a complete victory for the Aam Aadmi party per se. It's a relief, temporary relief, I would say. So Devika, this is something that the BJP has to effectively convey to the people, that this is how it is, and it's a conditional bail, and that he is not completely let off.
Okay.
So that's how I see it, Devika.
Okay, Rajlakshmi Joshi, I'll come back to you in just a moment. Gyanendra Mishra also with us on the broadcast. Gyanendra Mishra, what are your first thoughts on the fact that Arvind Kejriwal has been granted bail? The question that I put out to Rajlakshmi Joshi was that the BJP at this point in time is trying to make the people understand the fine print of what the courts have actually said in terms of the conditions that they've put across as far as the bail is concerned. The fact that Arvind Kejriwal cannot sign any official documents. He cannot really resume his position as the Chief Minister of Delhi. He is simply out on bail at this point in time. But does that ultimately matter to the people at large? Gyanendra Mishra, we can't hear you. Can you please connect to your audio? Okay, let's try to get Gyanendra Mishra on the phone line if we can, so that we can just hear his point of view as well. But we have Vineet Jindal.
Hello.
So, yes, Gyanendra Mishra, we can hear you now.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, there was some. So and for Arvind Kejriwal as an individual, because he was in jail for such a long time and he ought to have been granted bail much earlier. But given the assurance by the Solicitor General in the Supreme Court that his trial would be commenced and completed within 6 months, which everybody doubted at that point of time, and the Supreme Court's earlier bench has not given the bail only on this condition that his trial would be completed within 6 months, and give him a liberty to approach the Supreme Court or the trial court if the trial is not commenced within 6 months. And I think that was a promise assurance was given to the court, but everybody knew that that promise has no substance because it was impossible to complete the trial within the 6 months. So that's the one part. Second part is that today's order by the Supreme Court was incoming. Everybody was it is an understanding that he'll get the bail because all other accused in the excise scam has now been given bail by the Supreme Court. But the important thing is that some of the observation which has been made by the Honorable Bench of the Supreme Court, particularly one of the Honorable Justice Mr. Ujjwal Bhuiyan, while granting the bail, he has made some very strong observation against the investigating agencies, and that doesn't augur well for independence and effectiveness of these investigating agency, because the main argument of the Arvind Kejriwal in the Supreme Court was that this arrest by the CBI was an insurance arrest, which means that this arrest was just to prevent him from coming out of the jail. And one of the honorable judge has made a very scathing observation saying that yes, it seems that it was an insurance arrest. It looks like that the CBI unnecessarily arrested him when he was granted bail in ED matter just to ensure that he doesn't go out of the bail. Another very important point, observation made by the Supreme Court is that one of the judges has not agreed with the very stringent condition which has been put around his bail. See, the putting certain conditions when the granted bail is very ordinary. That is the standard practice, that the bail is granted, then certain conditions are imposed in the sense that you don't influence the investigation and the trial of the matter. And therefore, putting certain conditions around it is nothing extraordinary, and it cannot be seen in the context and perspective of that as if the condition has been put because there is a merit in his allegations. But Having said that, as I said, even one of the honorable judge in the bench has not agreed with these conditions that has been put around it. And I also, as a lawyer of the Supreme Court, don't find the rationale. Okay, you can put the conditions that you will not influence or contact the evidence, you will not influence the witnesses, you will not deal with the excise department. At least that kind of conditions can be put, that you will not deal with the files of the department which somehow relates or correlates to the matter under investigation. To put in complete embargo that while you are on bail, the trial has even not commenced, means you are not guilty at all at this stage as per the scheme of our criminal jurisprudence. And then put these conditions that you will not enter your office, you will not sign any file whatsoever which has no relation at all with the accusation under which you are under trial, and you will not look, you will not do anything at all in your official capacity unless LG asks you to sign the file. So these kind of complex, so that is not even the complete embargo on that side also. The Supreme Court order says that if there is some important files which need to be signed by the chief minister, and if LG asks you to do that, then you can sign the file. So these kind of conditions basically has no rationale or nexus on the conditions that is normally imposed on an under trial or an accused when the bail is granted. And I believe that the AAP legal department would consider going to the Honorable Supreme Court and seek some explanation, or at least seek some dilution in these conditions, particularly given the fact that there was no.
Okay, but will they at this point, and let me bring in Vineet Jindal into the conversation as well. Vineet Jindal, is that really all the cards for the Aam Aadmi Party? Because at the end of the day, they wanted the Chief Minister out on bail. That's exactly what they've got. Do you really think that they'll once again be knocking the doors of the apex court when they've already granted him relief? And at the same time, what does this really then mean for the people of Delhi who truly have been suffering because most of the leaders have been embroiled in some sort of a controversy or the other?
Look, if you are talking about the political aspect, definitely it is very important aspect for the Aam Aadmi Party, because Haryana election is just on the doors and it has already been started basically. And in respect of the governance of Delhi, definitely that is also a very important aspect, because Arvind Kejriwal was not ready to leave his CM post. So he himself put all these Delhi citizens in that difficult conditions. So now it is kind of, look, we have to see how now the development work, how can it really proceed. And if we are talking about the legal aspect of this bail, so I must say, the bail is never been considered to declare anyone acquitted or anyone not guilty. So they are, because of their political aspirations, they are saying that Aam Aadmi Party is saying that because this bail has been granted, almost all the politicians except Satyendra Jain of Aam Aadmi Party has granting bail. So it seems to be that liquor scam issue, and liquor scam is a politically generated issue and political generated case. So I think that is wrong, because if you see the bail conditions, the observation is something different. It is about the arrest, it is about the process. But nowhere Supreme Court says the investigation has been faulty. And the condition imposed upon Arvind Kejriwal, it has been specified, it has been cleared that yes, there is something which is wrong, and investigation has been completed. Bail has been granted because of certain conditions. There is Article 21 which is played very crucial role in granting all the politicians of Aam Aadmi Party when they are granting bail. The investigation has been almost completed in every manner. So they are granting bail, and it is that is a legal aspect also, that nobody should punish before he will be guilty of some offense. So trial should be taken place. So the bail granted because of certain conditions, certain legal aspect, and the Article 21 of Constitution. So I must say, definitely it is a big relief for Aam Aadmi Party in respect of political expectations and in respect of Delhi citizen, because we are suffering because of the aspirations of Arvind Kejriwal become a CM. So it is something there, and in respect of they are projecting that this bail is specified that Arvind Kejriwal is having a no role and that all liquor scam is politically generated. I think that is really wrong, and maybe something about in future, in a day or a week, something would be some observation in that respect also come from the Supreme Court, because this issue has been now trying to politicize that bail has been granted. That's why the people say that this issue is just a political issue.
Okay, all right. I thank, on that note, all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast to take us through their perspective.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.